You are listening to the Disney Dream Girls, an unofficial Disney Theme Parks podcast, and this is show number 454 for Sunday, the 14th of May, 2023.
Where dreams begin.
Hello and welcome to this week's Disney Dream Girls. My name is Michelle Young, and together with my jolly good chum Jane Phipps, we are your guides to the place where dreams begin. Hello there, Janie.
Hello there, Michelle, and happy birthday for yesterday as this is going out on a Sunday.
It's all timey-wimey, wiggly stuff, isn't it, really?
It is a little bit. So I would say, have you had a good birthday, but you've not had it yet. So here's hoping you've had a good birthday.
Well, I hope so, because I've got a few nice little plans made. Going back in time, on the 12th, I'm going out with some friends from work for one of my ultimate favourite things ever. Mm-hmm. There is Pakistani Asian style carvery and grill buffet type thing we like to go to. And I have this thing about the masala fish, which is like, it's not a batter, but it's like a rub on fish, and it's sweet and it's savoury and it's delicious. And obviously I've got to have some lamb sag, which is basically lamb and spinach, and it's just delish. And it'll be really nice catching up with a few people at work, because when we're at work it's always work talk, and it's really nice to sort of talk to people and get to know them on that sort of like personal level.
Yeah, sometimes, well, work is for work, isn't it? We don't always have a chance to connect properly when we're at work.
True. And then grandson for the weekend, because it's his birthday the week after. So we'll be doing some birthday things with him as well.
Busy.
It will be, so that's why we've recorded, and hopefully this will all go out. And in between there'll be no sort of terrible, awful things going wrong, touch wood, she says really quickly.
Yeah, of course it'll be fine.
Obviously. How's things with you?
Yes, all good, and I've got birthdays galore as well, because it's Molly's on the 12th. So we've got Molly home for the weekend, and then it's Simon's on the 16th. So yeah, it's birthday testacular at the moment. It's all happening.
And we're both a bit sulky, because normally they have the burlesque timed for our birthdays, and they've moved it to later on in the year.
Yeah, it's a few weeks later, isn't it? But we're still going though, aren't we? We'll still celebrate, even if it's 2 or 3 weeks later.
Yeah, we'll stick a hand up when they say, is there anyone in the room celebrating? And then the whole place will sing to us, and we'll have to say something and whatever.
Yes. We know what we're letting ourselves in for though, don't we?
We do. Although it's really funny, because it's a National Numeracy Day in the UK.
It is.
And our favourite compere from the burlesque, Stage Door Johnny, has got Instagram famous now, with like 1 million followers, including some very famous people. And he's going to be one of the people that are commentating on it and producing something, because he is very well known for his English spelling rules videos. If you don't know, you got to catch him. Look him up, Stage Door Johnny. It is hysterical.
It is, and he's a lovely guy, and he deserves all the success that's coming his way. So, well done, Stage Door Johnny.
Worked very, very hard. Right, so we have a Disney podcast for you.
We do indeed.
We're going to start with a bit of history, Janie.
Well, I want to keep on the birthday theme, because I've got a couple of birthdays I'd like to mention.
Aww.
I thought, we'll have a bit of a theme going on. So, 1944. On this day was the birthday of George Lucas.
Ooh!
That there Star Wars chappie. And obviously a lot more than just Star Wars, but I have to mention him because it's kind of, in our family with all our Star Wars connection, it's something we have to kind of make note of. But I think with George Lucas, and the important thing to remember is, yes, we know him from Star Wars, and we know him for Indiana Jones, but he also is behind Pixar, because there was an animation studio called the Graphics Group, and that was 1/3 of Lucasfilm, which is obviously his baby. So he's got influence there. And obviously Industrial Light and Magic. So Industrial Light and Magic is this amazing special effects company that he founded whilst they were making Star Wars. Because when they were doing Star Wars, they wanted to do these certain effects and they didn't know how to do them, and the technology hadn't been made. That's what George Lucas is all about. It's that we need to do X. We don't know how to do it. We'll figure it out. And if it wasn't for him, a lot of stuff that we take for granted probably today in the filmmaking world probably wouldn't be happening. So, yeah, shout out to George Lucas on his birthday.
Happy birthday, sir.
And a little quote from him, which I thought we all need to take care of. I was fortunate to have grown up in the heyday of Walt Disney, so his influence touched me in a number of ways. When I was very young, I loved the animated cartoons, principally Snow White, Donald Duck, and Mickey Mouse.
Oh,
there you go, you see. Taking inspiration from something that we're all extremely fond of.
Absolutely.
And another director, producer, writer, another one of these Hollywood types that has got a very big name for doing more than just one thing. In 1952, we saw the birth of Robert Zemeckis. So another one that's very much about using special effects. So Who Framed Roger Rabbit was that one of those groundbreaking things, combining live action with animation. I remember that coming out at the time and being wowed by it. He also did The Christmas Carol in 2009, which I know you can look at it now and go, ooh, it's a bit weird. But again, he's another one going out there, pushing boundaries and trying to come up with new ways of doing things. And of course, he was also director of Back to the Future as well.
Oh, love that film.
Yeah.
Love that
So there
film.
we go. A couple of birthdays.
Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday.
I did think about singing to you, Shell, but you've got a way better singing voice than I have.
Oh, bless you.
I wasn't going to subject the world to my voice.
Oh, I don't think I have got a good singing voice. I just go with the flow.
Nothing wrong with that.
So, talking about going with the flow, we have got a little bit of foodie news with regards to the Avengers campus.
Oh, right, okay.
So we're hopping all over to Disneyland, and the Pym Test Kitchen over at DCA are getting some yummy yummies available for you to try.
All right, okay.
I'm very excited about one of these things. Because in the film, Guardians of the Galaxy, they talk about Zarg bits.
Yes.
Because they are Zarg nuts that are eaten in the film. Well, we've not got the Zarg nuts, but we have got a clear plastic cup with a lid on it filled with crispy rice paper, Bunella's corn chips, veggie chips and seasoned roasted pistachio. And one thing that made me smile, Jane, it looks like they've got roasted beetroot in this here delicious treat.
That's unusual.
And anyone who knows me, I hate beetroot. But Jane introduced me to beetroot crisps and oh my word, I fell in love.
They don't taste like beetroot, do they? I think the trouble is we kind of almost brought up, particularly in this country, on pickled beetroot, which is its own unique thing, isn't it? And then consequently, when you have just cooked beetroot, it doesn't taste anything like the pickled stuff. So we're kind of in a bit of confusion, aren't we? But beetroot chips are fantastic.
Absolutely. Or as we call them in the UK, crisps.
Crisps, yeah.
Crisps. Not chips. Chips are something you put in between bread with curry sauce and mayonnaise on.
Although the only thing that I've not managed to get convinced you about yet, Michelle, is that beetroot crisp in hummus is really nice.
No. Please don't make me feel poorly on my B-day.
Sorry.
I'm no good. But yeah, there's lots of nice themed foods coming along. And one of the things that me and my travelling buddies talked about when we was enjoying the wonders of Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind, we were talking about why is there not a toast cupcake after the attraction? Because seriously, it just makes sense. Well, Disney have listened.
Good on them.
It's not quite a cupcake, but what it looks like they've done is they've got bits of waffle, cut them up, and serving them with a red dipping sauce, and then you will be able to get these really nice themed Perfect Sovereign waffle bites.
Ah, okay.
So, you know, you don't even have to tear the waffle up now because Disney's done it for you. It can just go straight in your mouth.
Making eating easy.
Absolutely. And this is available at Connections Cafe, which is a hop, skip and a jump away from the attraction.
Makes sense.
Yeah. So there's some nice little Guardian linkage there. I'm really excited because I do know this summer I'll be going over to Disneyland in California. Not been for a number of years, and it will be really great to see that particular part of the park because I've not been in it.
Yeah.
So
nice.
Very exciting. And while we're talking food, Jane, we have heard that Tokyo Dining is not coming back. And we are going to be getting a sushi eatery. And it's a table service restaurant. And it's going to be offering a festive dining experience in shareable izayaki or izakaya style for you to create memories and good times through stunning flavours.
Yeah, I've seen some photos. The offerings do look rather yummy.
They do. They do indeed. Not a place for me to take Hubster with a shellfish allergy.
Very true. That's okay. We'll sort a date out, just me and you, love.
Well, this is where we're going, Jane, because we're going to go to Epcot together this August.
Are we?
Well, let's pretend.
Oh, okay.
Because the Eat to the Beat concert series to go with Food and Wine Festival, the lineup has been agreed.
And
there's a few that I'm sort of going, oh yeah, I wish I was there.
Okay.
So we have Tiffany.
Yes, that would be one I would be intrigued by.
Absolutely. There's Ray Parker Jr., but I only know one song by Ray Parker Jr., and I gather he's not going to be singing that 6 times. So
do you not think so?
No.
Yeah. It's funny, isn't it? The names that you recognise, then you realise you only actually know one of the records.
Yeah. Which, is true. There's Air Supply. Billy Ocean.
Yeah, can't be a bit Billy.
And one for you, Janie. Sheila E.
Oh, I would love to see Sheila E again. I had the pleasure of seeing her perform with Prince on a number of occasions when she was part of his band. Amazing talent, and yeah, I would be very tempted. Not till November. So, I suppose it's always an outside possibility.
You could do a Christmas themed trip.
Possibly, maybe. Who knows? But yeah, Sheila E would definitely be. I think if I was being honest, I think out of the complete list that they've got, I mean, there's quite a few. Hands up, I'm going, who are you? I don't know your name. But yeah, Sheila E was the one that jumped out at me. That would be if I was over there, I would be going, definitely.
Yeah. Right, well, I'm going to continue a little bit of my feedback, trip review, whichever you like to call it, about my August 2023 trip. And today I'd like to talk a little bit about the after hours event that we did at Disney's Hollywood Studios.
Oh, okay, right.
The price ranges from $119 up to $149, depending on if you are able to use a discount. So pass holders, DVC, you can get it for $119. Obviously there's tax on top of that. Whereas if you're Joe Public, it's $149 and then you've got tax on top. So it's not a cheap event.
No. So was it worth it? That's going to be the big question, Michelle.
Well, I'm going to talk you through my evening, Jane.
Oh, take me there.
We got into the Hollywood Studios at about 6:30. We had a few things we wanted to achieve beforehand, and the main one was being able to go and see Fantasmic.
Yeah, understandable.
The event was at 9:30 to 12:30, so it was for 3 hours, and we thought it'd be a really good use because Fantasmic was at 8:30, and by the time we'd got out of Fantasmic and seen it, it would be 9:30, and we could be starting on our attraction plan.
Yeah, perfect timing.
Yeah. So we got there, we saw Fantasmic, it was fantastic, it was really good to see again. It was a long wait. I think we waited out for about 45 minutes for the show, but I do enjoy it. It is good.
Worth the wait.
Our plan was to save Galaxy's Edge to last, and the reason we came up with this plan was that most people headed for that first. When we've seen some of the vlogs on YouTube, everyone seemed to be going there first. And if you imagine that whilst the park closes at 9:30, Joe Bloggs could get in the line at 9:29 for any of the attractions in Hollywood Studios, and he would be still able to ride the attraction because he was in the queue at 9:30. So we sort of thought, the queue might be quite big, and we'd seen it, as I said, really long waits of up to 45, 60 minutes. So we thought, right, we'll be strategic. We're going to be coming out and we're going to be right next to Tower of Terror. So we thought, let's go on Tower of Terror.
Logical.
But it couldn't get on Tower of Terror.
Why not?
It was in a breakdown mode.
That's not good.
So we thought, right, we need to console ourselves. So we went to the snack cart just to the side of the toilets right outside of Tower of Terror, and you were able to choose from the following: a frozen raspberry strawberry fruity lolly, a cookies and cream ice cream Mickey sandwich, or a Mickey bar. They had sodas, so you could get like a bottle of Diet Coke or a bottle of, I think they had Sprite, and they had water. So whenever we went anywhere, we always got some form of ice cream and a beverage. So I started off at 9:35 with a Mickey bar and a bottle of water.
Right.
Whilst we ate them, we meandered over to Runaway Railway and we had a ride on the attraction. From getting in line to getting on a vehicle, we only had a 20-minute wait.
That's not too bad at all, is it?
No. So we thought, we've been on an attraction. I'm a bit thirsty and hungry now. Let's go get another Mickey bar and another bottle of water.
Okay.
And then we went back on Runaway Railway again.
Okay.
Just because it was a quiet line.
Yeah.
So then we went over and we literally walked through the entire queue line of Tower of Terror and got on there relatively quickly. I think it was about 10 minutes.
Walk on, yeah, brilliant.
Then, of course, we went and got another Mickey bar and a bottle of water, because that's what you do.
I've got a vision of your bag getting heavier and heavier with all this water, Michelle.
It was getting incredibly heavy by this point, and we'd just given up all stupidity at this point, because it got to the point of we were going back to the same place and the girls were just going to the freezer and getting us a raspberry one and whatever, and getting us what we wanted, and it was like, yeah, fine, yeah, not a problem, and we just it got silly.
Yeah.
We went on Midway Mania, which was a walk-on. We went on Slinky Dog. Now, this is a bone of contention of mine.
Right.
The queue line, the little display for standby, was 60 minutes.
Okay.
There was nobody in the line. There was probably a 5-minute wait, but it said 60.
Oh, that's a bit out of order.
So I was a little bit, Disney, come on, that's not cricket.
I mean, we know they can over-egg it a little bit, and I'd rather them over-egg it and then you be pleasantly surprised, but that's more than just over-egging it.
Absolutely. So we then decided to do Toy Story Midway Mania, we did Slinky Dog, and we did Alien Swirling Saucers.
Okay.
And we thought, right, we've now got to get more food, which we did, and let's go on and we're going to ride Rise of the Resistance.
Right.
Virtually a walk-on.
Nice.
Virtually a walk-on. We also went over and meandered around Muppets Forecourt. Muppets wasn't open, but we had a meander around. It was a bit of a drizzly night, I'll be honest. We did get slightly little bit wet and a bit soggy, but it was sort of a attraction, snack. I'm not a popcorn fan, but Stephen and Laura got a couple of popcorns during the evening as well. And at one point, I do recall myself having a strawberry bar and a Mickey bar, and I was alternating biting each one, sort of like, because it was a perfect synergy of ice cream and chocolate with fruit. And it was like, this makes it healthy.
Yes, Michelle, of course it does.
Absolutely, of course it does, Jane. Now, there are some special things that you could buy. We thought, hang on a minute, we've paid so much money for this. Why would we buy a treat when we can go and get a treat. And like it got towards the end that cast members were just going out with lollies and giving them to people. Here, get these, because they didn't want to take back half-opened boxes. So it got really, really silly.
But yeah, better to do that though than them get chucked or whatever.
Oh, they wouldn't have got chucked. Michelle would have eaten them. So I think by the end of the night, my water total, I got 8 bottles of water, which when you work it out, it's what, $4.50?
Yeah, that's not bad going.
I had one of the ice cream sandwiches. I don't really like the cakey bit around the ice cream sandwich. I love the sort of like cookies and cream ice cream in the middle. That is really tasty. But the spongy bit, ugh. So I only had one of them. I think I had 3 of the raspberry strawberry lollies, and then Mickey bars. I think I had 5.
Oh my goodness.
So it did get to the point where I feel that I had about $60 to $70 worth of food, and then I was able to go on attractions without having to wait in a really long line. And for me, I felt the value was there, because some of these attractions you could quite easily wait 45, 50 minutes, even longer. For example,
easily,
2 rides on Midway Mania, and we'd done them both within half an hour. We walked on Rise of the Resistance, and there was nobody there.
I was going to say, how busy did it actually feel then, Shell?
I've shared some pictures over on our Instagram at Diz Dream Girls of the Muppet Forecourt, and you cannot see a single person.
Yeah.
You know, I've got pictures of Toy Story Land where you cannot see anybody, and this was like 11 o'clock, so it wasn't just by closing. It was quite a, sort of nearly 2/3 of the way through the night. So there were parts of the park where you could walk and you would not see a single soul.
Which is probably that to me is quite a special thing to do, actually.
Well, it is, because we were there over spring break. There were crowds everywhere. I was getting a little bit sort of het up at the crowd level, and it just felt so nice to be able to walk around without bumping into people, having a stroller to the back of the ankle, or having to dodge people that stop in the middle of the pathway. It just felt the park was open for me, and we really did use it, the time and the availability of the snacks, really well.
So were shops open as well?
Some shops were open, not every single one was. And I suppose when it got to a later time in the night, they all started sort of closing down so that we'd all hopefully leave on time. There was not a problem waiting for any transport. The Skyliner was not working. It closed down earlier. So we were waiting for a bus, and I think we had about a 10-minute wait.
Which is nothing really, is it? Yeah.
No, so it was quite surreal, really, getting a Hollywood Studios bus back to Pop Century rather than going on the Skyliner.
Of course, yes, because that wouldn't be your normal course of action, would it? Yeah.
No, because normally they wouldn't have buses.
Yeah.
So is it worth your while? I suppose it depends on how you're going to do your parks. If you're on a short trip and you want to cram in Hollywood Studios, you could pretty much do all the attractions in that time without spending a whole park day there. Get yourself off somewhere else, have some pool time, go to the outlets, go shopping, go to Disney Springs. Don't waste a whole ticket. Then get into the park early, which you're allowed to do on the after hours events, and do it that way. That would get you a great deal of value. For me, where I had a 14-day ticket, I didn't get that value side of it.
No.
But hey ho. Another top tip is we went to the park quite early that day, and then we had quite a reasonable afternoon break so that we could feel fresh when we hit Hollywood Studios. We wanted to have the energy level, because there's nothing worse in a theme park where your bones are aching and every step you take you feel like something's on fire.
Yeah, which it can do when you've been in there for a lot of hours, can't it? But yeah, so I suppose that's the thing, bearing in mind it's going to be a late finish, so adjust your schedule accordingly.
One thing we did decide to have a look at was whether it would be financially viable for us to book a night in a deluxe hotel on the night where that deluxe hotel would give you extra magic hours at the theme park, because they do that at the moment. I believe it's Magic Kingdom and Epcot. I don't think it includes Hollywood Studios, so please correct me if I'm wrong. But if you pay for a deluxe, that means you can get up to 1 a.m. in that park. 3 extra hours. And it's just the cost of the room. And we worked it out, and it just didn't hit the price point. If there were 4 of us, then it would have been okay.
Yeah, splitting the cost out, yeah.
But for 3, it didn't work out.
So this was a good alternative then?
Absolutely, for Hollywood Studios, because as I say, Tower of Terror at the moment, most times we were there, we were seeing 40, 50-minute waits. Rise of the Resistance, about 60 to 90 minutes. Millennium Falcon, about 45 minutes. Mickey and Minnie, some days were getting up to an hour.
Yeah. And Slinky Dog's often a long wait as well, isn't it?
It is, and the heat on Slinky Dog during the day is quite unbearable. I quite like riding it at night because it just adds that extra edge, because you can see beautiful lights all over the park
different
and
perspective.
things.
Yeah, definitely.
Now, when you compare this event to the extra hours I did later on in the trip when I was staying at the Deluxe at Old Key West, we left Old Key West at 20 to 10, got in an Uber, and we had 3 hours in the Magic Kingdom, and it had the same feeling. Towards 1 o'clock in the morning, there was barely anyone in the park, and having that unique feeling, whether you get it through paying for a hard ticket or whether you get it through having the deluxe part of your hotel package, it is well worth going to the park at those times, because you've got no waits. Now, okay, with the deluxe route, you don't get the Mickey bars for free, you don't get the drinks and everything like that, but you do get that same feeling of being able to go into an attraction and ride an attraction with a very short wait. And sometimes if you're going down the route of booking Genie Plus, you don't get to see the whole ride queue. Seven Dwarfs Mine Train.
Yes.
You know, you don't get to see all the little fun interactive bits if you're always going down the Genie Plus route. Same with Peter Pan. So you've just got to bear that in mind.
And I would imagine as well, Michelle, that element of, because you've got those extra hours to use at your will, you can afford to take a little bit more time in a queue area to take all the things in that perhaps sometimes you wouldn't do because it's noisy and busy, or you're getting pushed along and you don't feel like you can stop and look at something. And add on to the fact that, again, you're in a park when the vast majority of people are not in the park, and therefore you can see it and appreciate it, a bit like doing rope drop, isn't it? You appreciate it from a different perspective.
Oh, yeah. The photography we were able to take was really great, because there's literally no one there. And how rare is it on a spring break time during the day that you'd be able to get a picture of the Millennium Falcon?
Well, yeah, without anybody else in picture, yeah, quite.
You just can't.
No.
So that is really, for me, I felt it was worthwhile. However, would I book multiples? No, because it's an expensive thing.
Yeah.
Would I consider it for Magic Kingdom or Epcot? Epcot, possibly not, purely because you're walking across a long distance to get to those attractions.
Right, yeah.
I'd probably just invest in Genie Plus. But for the Magic Kingdom, absolutely, 100%.
So it's probably something that is more akin to the, technically, if you want to call them smaller parks, as in smaller footprint parks, isn't it?
Yeah. And again, if they ever do this at Animal Kingdom, which they don't tend to, because let's be honest, Animal Kingdom on an evening, there isn't a great deal of attractions you can actually go on.
Well, no, because you've got to be animal friendly and bear that element of it in mind, haven't you?
Yeah. So that's it. If you have any questions with regards to that in any more detail, please let me know. I'll be sharing some pictures over on our Instagram at DisDreamGirls, where you can see lots and lots of content. I'm currently posting pictures and videos all about the trip that I had. You can also get some exclusive audio, extra shows, and the full details on Tony Baxter's talk about Epcot. Patreon.com/Disney Dream Girls. And you can also connect with us via our family page over on Facebook, Disney Dream Girls Podcast Family. But until next week, it's a goodbye from me.
And it's goodbye from me.